Hi, this is Chris from Audio Discovery, and I am super excited. So, you just saw an intro screen that my friend Patrick just so graciously provided, and I'm really happy. I wanted to invite Patrick on and introduce him as sort of my savior of having to think of all of that. So, I'm really appreciative. And so I wanted to introduce Patrick and VAUSP Studio. Patrick is from Germany, and we met through our association with the Produce Like a Pro Academy, and then I was thankfully accepted into our sort of kind of community, and I'm really excited to have Patrick on. He's a composer. He's been an electronic music producer for a long time. And so I go on his Twitch streams all the time, and just I'm a fan. He's got some incredible productions, and so I'm always learning from him. And I got an intro screen, so he's completely taken my channel production value skyrocketed because of Patrick. So I really appreciate it. Patrick, thank you very much for joining me here.
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. So, and also I need to say this to my subscriber base, is that Patrick is been very, very supportive of me through all of this, as you could tell from, kind of putting in effort with the intro screen. So, no creative endeavor happens, by just, one sole purpose. So I'm really glad, I'm really happy that, that we crossed paths. So,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So I had a few sort of questions. Because of the way the community works, we share a lot of different things from our recent creations, our recent mixes, things we've done in the past. But some questions tend to not necessarily get asked. And one of the first questions that I was thinking of when we were going to have this conversation is that you've shared your pictures of you having, playing electronic music all throughout Europe, and I wanted to know if the recording process and the production process, do you feel any similarity between the recording process and producing and composing now?
Yes, there's similarity because if you create electronic sounds and atmospheres, you always have to keep your goal in mind where you want to come with your music. And so if you record something, you also have to know how it should sound in the end. And so there's a similarity for me. And also if we are doing just recordings nowadays, I can help with production work very easily. So this helps me a lot that I have that production background, although it was just electronic music.
Okay, right, yeah. But still, with electronic music, you still are working with the same kind of musical composition pieces, with rhythm, with melody.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you think of electronic music, some parts getting more exposed than in usual music. When you have vocals are the king, and in electronic music you often don't have any vocals, so the rhythm is the king, and the feeling and the evolving of the music is king. And so that's a little twist between electronic and pop music, or yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So help me understand VAUSP Studio. So where did you get the name from?
Yeah, that's always the question. So just the letters are standing for video, audio, sound design, the unique, and photography. Because when we created VAUSP Studio, I teamed up with a partner. He's professional photographer and does web design, and so we have all these media creating in one house, so to say, and we can offer everything from photo to audio to video. We are doing a little training sessions for upcoming musicians. We can make the whole media, social media, so everything from one hand. We say in Germany, yeah.
Yeah, like a one-stop shop for a presentation of an artist.
Right.
You know, right. Yeah.
Right.
No, that's great. And I feel like it's very valuable because I am a terrible photographer, and I was going through my old photos from when I was playing in bands years ago, and I didn't have a good camera. I had one of those little single lens point and shoot, and those early digital cameras that I was not artistic enough to be able to make them look good at all. So and when I think about it, I look at all these shots on stage that my memories of them, I mean, it just looked cooler than what the actual photo looks like, so
I exactly know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know this as well. So
Yeah.
now I have a partner who does this job really really good.
Yeah, that is invaluable.
Yeah.
And though I think a lot of my subscriber base may be US based, but I think that it's still worthy to, sort of, I mean, from, where you are now, we're 9 hours apart, but you still were able to, kind of take what I had and work with it. And so the design aspect from what you guys are doing, I think, is really valuable.
Thank you.
That's really great. So, and you guys, right now, obviously, because of the pandemic restrictions, you're mixing at your house, but you actually have a place that you guys work out of.
Right. Right now I'm at my home, and I have here a little setup for production work and edit work and a little bit of mixing, but we have a dedicated studio here in our city. Nearby is the Bahnhof, where the train station.
Okay,
station.
right. Yeah.
So people come from other cities, and we can pick them up in the near of our studio to take them for recording. And yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That sounds really nice. It's being able to get anywhere else right now sounds really nice. So
oh yeah.
Yeah. So because you're a one-stop you have the types of, do you have packages that you offer your clients? Like, you say, okay, well, we can do a recording, or we can do a mixing session, and then also do you package that with photography as well?
Yeah, we offer those packages, but so the last client was at our studio just for recording and mixing. And while the session, we talked about, okay, we can do some photograph, and we have a little, I wouldn't call it label, but we've created VAUSP records, so that we can easily get the music that's recorded at our studio out into the world, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, you name it.
So like digital publishing?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
So also that is one of our packages.
Right on.
Yeah. And yeah, most people come for one, yeah, maybe for recording, and after that they go with a lot more.
Sure. Yeah.
In their hand. And yeah.
Well, it's interesting because so as somebody who because I think of either a song, or I think of a group of songs and say, oh, well, I just want a recording. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And then after a while, this happened. I had a Bandcamp release, and I had been working on this piece of music and composing it and getting real detailed. And I'm in my element. And then I think, wow, you know what? Okay, I'm going to release this for once in my life. I'm going to release something. And then I go to I used Bandcamp. Mm-hmm. And I love the Bandcamp platform. I think it's great. I think what they do is great.
Yeah.
And so I went to put it on Bandcamp, and all of a sudden they're asking me, hey, so what's your social media? There was this whole other component that, because I'm so busy focusing on the music composition and trying to get that dialed in, I wasn't past the finish line. I was only to a certain point, but because I'm only thinking about the music part, I need to have an album. I needed to create an artist page. So I needed to have, and I ended up choosing a really bad, I'll send you the file. Okay. It's a really bad photo that I took. A friend of mine were kind of out and about back when you could be out and about. And the photo is not representative of me at all. But it was probably the only photo that looked somewhat art, because the other photos I have are me and, this guy, those are all the photos that I have, because I don't really take pictures of myself. So it's really necessary. You have to have you have to have photos, you have to have art direction. And that's really great that you guys provide that.
Yeah. And here we can help focusing of some important parts that probably the customer didn't think about.
Yeah. I definitely would have used your. I mean, it would have been great to have you guys. Hey, and maybe for the future, maybe able to discuss some of that
here.
Stuff. So,
yeah,
that's cool. So I understand that you're into cinematic compositions. I've gone on your Twitch stream to see you composing. Now, how does your past experience with electronic music help you with composing?
Yeah, as it's again just similar, because you have to translate emotion into music, and that's in electronic music, because you want to make people on the dance floor having a good time and take them through the night. And so if you see a picture, it's really the same. You see the emotion of the picture, and you have to translate this into film scoring. So I'm very new to film scoring, since all the orchestral libraries are getting more affordable.
Right.
So,
thorough. They're becoming more robust. Like there's way more
absolute.
of them.
It's amazing how vivid samples sound nowadays. I would have loved to have those sounds 10 years or 20 years ago to throw it into my electronic production as well, because also this could be something interesting. So you see the picture and write music that enhances the feeling of the picture. And it's a really funny task. It's a lot of joy.
There's a saying that I hear a lot that says, talking about music is like dancing about architecture.
Oh,
and but one of the, well, I mean, I do it anyway, so I don't care what they say, but I think that it's interesting because creating music to pictures is like talking about music.
Yes.
It's you're seeing something, you're commenting, you're reacting. It's just that your language is music, and I love that. I think that's great.
And it will be understood on every place on the world.
It's amazing how many. It's amazing that a film score, and maybe not surprising, but how a film score will, if you used, like, say for instance, somebody is like embracing, right? And if you have like a violin or some kind of string arrangement that sort of zooms in on the intimacy of the moment, you might get start crying. Or if it's one of those where there's a low string section and maybe some like low bassoon or something like that, it's like ominous, like, oh, something's gonna happen here, I don't know, so it can change the way that
absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. I love it.
What kinds of things inspire you?
Everything. Really everything. It can be a actual mood that can be very inspiring, whether if you are happy or if you are sad. Situations that happened the day before can inspiring me, but also if I hear any sound or noise, or somebody is showing a little part he's working on, and whoop, I immediately have something in mind, and that can bring me to a new kind of musical piece.
Mm-hmm.
I think we as musicians, we soak up everything around us. So everything can inspiring me. For doing something.
Sure. Yeah. It's
I think that's the same with you.
I think that the different, like, so I know that I get inspired by specific things, right? Say for instance, I'll because I'm so much into rock, and that was my main inspiration. So if I hear a really good sounding instrument, or a musician who's playing a not so good instrument but really well, I love that. I love that kind of stuff. And I know for me, only later in my life did I understand how mood and how so I am in touch with the mood, but I'm not as much in touch with it as if I were to hear the instruments and the instrumental playing.
Okay.
But and it's also been the thing that I've been trying to be much better with vocals, because lyrics are very important to vocals, and those kinds of things. I would listen more to the instruments because I was always learning how to play them. And now you have vocalists who are amazing and great and have these, these things to say. Now I'm starting, or not now, but later on in my musical life, did I start to understand that the instruments are not the focus. That you said vocals are king.
Yes.
And so that I had to learn that later. So my inspiration was always instrumental, and more recently having to understand it. So I'm still trying to catch up, and I'm still trying to get there. So, which is also inspiring too, because I try to play with it. I try to get there. I try to understand. So I keep needing to learn about it and keep, writing music that is more feeling based rather than, instrumental acrobats.
Yeah. But that was also a learning process for me as well, because if you are doing electronic music for over 20 years, you have to relearn and refocus. If you are doing pop music or make recordings with real musicians.
Sure,
so that was one reason why I was stopping my electronic music project, Liquid Phonk, 2 years ago, because I wanted to refocus, and there's a lot of great music out there, and I didn't want just to make this tiny little bits out of this whole music thing.
Yeah.
And so now I'm playing with orchestral music, film scoring, pop music, recording, and all the stuff. And it's such a pleasure to have the ability now to do this.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So what are the goals of VAUSP Studio? What are you looking to do through VAUSP?
We want to have many great customers and creating nice music. And I hope also the film scoring thing will be a part of it. We are still growing, because we built the studio right before the pandemic thing starts.
Right.
So not the best start for a new business.
Right.
But I have to say also there were some great jobs last year, more industry clients to say. A fashion show. We did a fashion show and these things. Yeah, I hope the studio will grow and the business will grow. Maybe I can quit my main job in the future,
right?
And completely focus on the studio work. Right now it's part-time.
Right.
Yeah.
How much time? How many hours are you able to work on your VAUSP Studio versus your other work?
Okay, my main job is full-time job, so I have all the evenings and the weekends for the studio,
Right.
and I have one day at the week I don't have to work at the shop.
Sure.
So this time also I have for the studio, and yeah, if we have clients or important jobs to do, I easily can take a few days off of my main work. So that works very well. And nowadays, with the pandemic, I'm working in short time, so there's plenty of time for production work, studio work.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be
Yeah,
nice.
we will see.
Sure. Yeah. So I wanted to thank you very much for coming on to my audio discovery channel.
Thanks a lot for inviting.
Yeah. For me, finding not just like forms of music, all the stuff that's available to us, either tutorials or the things I see on YouTube is a big huge platform, and but I think that also it's also to discover cool people, and I'm really excited that I've met everybody that I've met in the last few months. It's been just kind of life-changing, really. So I'm really excited, and I'm really excited for what you guys are doing at VAUSP, because I think it's what I've heard so far is great. I'm a big fan of your Liquid Phonk project, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So it hits me in that in sort of the electronic music that I tend to focus on. I think that that's the stuff that you were doing in that with
Thanks
that thing.
a lot.
So that was very cool. And thanks so much for sharing with me your kind of your thoughts on music and creating and stuff like that. That's very cool.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
So I think we can end it here. Again, it's been a pleasure up to this point. Knowing you, and we'll continue doing so. But we're gonna end the video.
I wish you best of luck with your audio discovery channel.
Thank you.
You're doing a really nice job. I love your content here on YouTube.
Cool. Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward. There's a lot of things to share, and so it's gonna be a lot of fun coming up. And now my production value is a lot higher thanks to you. So yeah, it's gonna be nice. So okay, well, to my subscribers, thank you very much. To those who just kind of came in because you saw my channel from something else, thanks for watching. I appreciate Patrick for being on the channel, and we'll see you soon. So take care. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.